Welcome students of Standard 9. In today's history lesson 8 Industry and Trade, we are going to continue in the fourth part where we are going to study about the forest resources, fisheries, tourism, import, export or foreign trade and internal trade in our country. Mineral wealth. The availability of minerals, oil and coal plays a major role in the industrial development of the country. We have adequate stores of iron, manganese, coal and mineral oil in our country. You can see in the picture mining industry in India. Then you can see how the minerals have to be removed from under the ground. Now, the availability of these minerals like iron, coal, this all plays a major role in the industrial development of the country. So, if we want to develop industries, we should have adequate supply of minerals. We have these adequate stores such as iron, manganese, coal and mineral oil in our country. Now the next is the forest resources. Government has reserved some forests for the industries based on forests. The task of conservation of the forest is done by the central government, the state government and by the local people. Forests are necessary for the raw materials for industries like construction, paper, newsprint, silk, matchboxes, medicinal herbs, honey, lacquer and raw materials needed for paint. Now, the government, they have reserved some forests for the industries based on forests. Now, there are some industries which are wholly dependent on forest products. So, some forests are specially reserved only for the industrial purpose. The task of conservation of this forest is done by the central government. So this comes under the central government, the state government and also by the local people. Then some forests are reserved by the state government and also the local people. Forests are necessary for the raw material for industries like construction, then paper, newsprint, silk, matchboxes, medicinal herbs, honey, lacquer and raw materials needed for paint. So many raw materials are needed. So all these things which are available in forests, we have to preserve them and they are required for our industries because some industries are dependent totally on these forest products and on these forest resources. Industries like paper, then newsprint, then silk, matchboxes, medicinal herbs, honey. So we require the trees, we require the forest resources for all this. And you can see in the picture how huge trees are there which help the industries for their various products. And then also you can see in the market how these resources which are there, this are the industrial purpose they are used. Next is the fisheries. Fisheries include sea, water fish and freshwater fish found in rivers, canals, ponds and lakes. Now students, fishes they are found in different water bodies like sea water fish is there and then freshwater fishes are there and they are found in rivers, then canals, ponds, lakes. Harbors have been built on or old harbors have been redeveloped. So either new are built or old are reconstructed again. Fish seed incubation centers and fishing industry training centers have been provided for the growth of this industry. Now, if we want to cultivate more and more fish, then the fish seeds have to be preserved, they have to be incubated. So there are incubation centers for this fishing industry. Training is provided how to do it and this all have been provided for the growth of this fishing industry. And you can see in the picture how the nets are being put into the water for catching fish in the first picture. Then in the second picture, how the fishes are there for sale. Next is about the tourism. Tourism. India has a rich cultural heritage. There are places of worship of different religions, pilgrimage centers, confluences of rivers, forts, caves, etc., all over our country. Tourists from our country as well as from abroad travel in India throughout the year. The facilities for tourism to stay, travel, etc., are provided through the Tourism Development Corporation. Sale of curios and the hotel industry thrives in tourist places. Now, students, we can see that this India has a rich cultural heritage. Now, there are many places of worship, like there are religious places, then there are pilgrimage centers where we find many confluences of river where rivers meet, then we find so many forts, caves. So India has a rich culture and there are so many places which are worth seeing. So for this, tourists from our own country as well as from outside our country, they come throughout the year, and this when they come, the facilities for these tourists to stay, then to travel, all should be provided to them properly so that they will come and the money can be earned by the local people there. And also for this, Tourist Development Corporation is developed so that tourism will flourish, people will get proper income. At the same time, when people come from outside India and also from within India, then when they come, there is a sale of so many things. The local people there, they get their earnings. At the same time, the government also gets tax, and all these taxes, the government is also benefited. So Tourism Development Corporation is there. The sale of curios and the hotel industry, then the hotels, when the tourists come, they stay in hotels. So the hotel industry also gets their earnings because of tourism. So proper management has to be done. Let us see further. You can see in the picture tourism industry in India, where there are so many beautiful places which can be worshipped, which can be seen, which are worth seeing, which are of scenic beauty. Import, export or foreign trade. When planning started in 1951, the import of industrial goods and raw material required for production increased. India's imports included machines, iron, mineral oil, fertilizers, medicines, etc. India also gave impetus to exports after independence in order to gain valuable foreign exchange. India's exports included tea, coffee, spices, cotton, textiles, leather, footwear, pearls, precious stones, etc. So, as the name suggests, import, export or foreign trade. Now, whatever is their production, if we are producing more and if our quality is good, then we naturally sell those products to other countries. Now, when planning started in 1951, the import of industrial goods and raw materials required for production increased. So, our import that increased when the planning started in 1951. India's imports includes machines, then iron, mineral oil, fertilizers, medicines, etc. All these things India imports. Now, India also gave impetus to export after independence in order to gain valuable foreign exchange. Now, what are the things which we export? Now, whatever is good and of good quality, that we also exported, so that we will also get in return some foreign exchange. Now, India's exports includes tea, coffee, spices, cotton textiles, leather, footwear, pearls, precious stones, etc. So these all things are included in our exports. Exports means we are giving to other countries. So what are the things we give? Tea, coffee, spices, cotton, textiles, leather, footwear, pearls, then precious stones, etc. So all these things India exports to other countries. Now internal trade. Now trade means whenever we are doing this, which are the ways we are going to do this trade? Is it by airways, waterways, or by roadways? That we are going to learn about this in internal trade. Internal trade. India's internal trade takes place via railways, waterways, roads, airways, etc. Ports like Mumbai, Kolkata, Kochi, and Chennai are important. Commodities like coal, cotton textiles, rice, wheat, raw, jute, iron, steel, oilseeds, salt, sugar, etc. are included in internal trade. Due to the development of industries, the standard of life in the country improves. Many opportunities for employment becomes available. On the whole, it helps in the progress of the country. In the next chapter, we shall see how the life of Indians has been changing. So students, in internal trade means if we want to do the trade within our country, then it can be done by railways, by waterways, or by roads or airways. Now there are different ports where ships come and stand and we can send the goods. Ports like Mumbai, Kolkata, Kochi and Chennai are very important for this if you are using waterways. Now commodities like coal, cotton, then cotton textiles, rice, wheat, raw jute, iron, steel, oilseeds, salt, sugar, they are included in internal trade. So mostly we send this within our country and they are included in internal trade. Now due to the development of industries, the standard of life of the country has improved. Many opportunities for employment now have become available, and on the whole it helps in the progress of our country. So all these processes to increase the industries is done so that all people get jobs, there is employment, there is more production. So students, we have learned about the various industries in this chapter. Revise the chapter properly. Now you can see in the picture that there are waterways, railways, then there are airways. Okay, thank you.